Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and Dad said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
What happens when you say you were fought in a war and you didn't fight in a war? Huh, that's funny, Mr. Tim Walz. So, anyways, what's up, guys? How we doing tonight? Good night, sweetheart. Welcome. Vince was first tonight. Vincey boy. How many times have you been first, brother? That like your first, second time? It hasn't happened much. Steve Bernard, Dose, Rodney Allen for third. That rounds out our gold, silver, and bronze no prizes. Congrats, guys. Cindy Lou fourth. Oscar in the house. Dave Moons. Vin, man, what's up, brother? We're not going full-blown communism. Not unless they win. If the right person wins. Trumpy boy. Doug Peterson, Kim Wiley, Dubois starting it out tonight. Welcome, Dubois. Hope you're feeling better. Danielle, Darren, Pat Shagoya, BN Pro, Kathy Danielle, Chad C. Yoker, Turbulence, Jack Hamilton. All right, sir. Eric P. Oscar said you can't read good. Just Mike, what's up? CJ Yukon, Jack, Randy Outwell, Indianapolis, Raiden. What's up, Franco Nostalgio Adventures? They call him Tampon Tim. That is true. Jeff, Joe, Primo Bro. What's up, man? Kim Wiley. Yes, let's love on Thomas. Hope he's doing well. Man10, Kevin. Always appreciate me. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So now, what is up? Hey, guys. What's going on? What a day. What a day in the world of our craziness. So we got quite the show today. We're going to go over some big stuff. This whole Stolen Valor thing is crazy, and it's only day two. Day two of Tim Walz being VP. Or is it three? Day three or two or three. Anyways, I can't remember. That's how unimportant he is in my life. But he has barely been VP now, and already major scandal. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover Elon just full on putting Kamala on blast, which made me very happy. And then we're going to talk about this stock market, which is insanely broken in my opinion. It tried to go up today, but couldn't hold it, and instead went way down. Midnight with the membership went to Max Dog. Welcome, Max. Thank you, Midnight. Always appreciate that, guys. So if you don't know the membership, $3 a month gets you in extra content, all that stuff. And if you can't believe it, if you haven't noticed yet, I've done some name changes for my channel, for my Twitter. I had a feeling today. I just was settling with myself, meditating, resting, and I had this thought. I said, you know what? There are very few times in your life you go all in on something, just all in. And to me, this election is the most insanely important next 3 months of our lives. We have to win this. We have to win it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is not a regular election. This is the life and death of our country. So everything from now on, it's posted all over. Ace for Trump, vote Trump 2024. And that's just it. From now on until the election, I, on my social media, am Ace for Trump 2024 because, listen, guys, I don't want any mistakes. I don't even care if people, I don't want them to come to my channel and wonder what I'm all about. I don't care if we lose some. We are going all in. Eric, I think the sound's fine. I'm registering what I always register, brother. Other people can tell me, though. But listen, anyways, it's all in time. I'm all in, and everything on this channel now is going to be about exposing, pushing forward the stock market, the economy, and of course, politics as it has been, but now I'm just making it more clear than ever. So David says, I can't believe these two buffoons are on a ticket. God help us. No joke, right? No joke. So now, Just Mike, live in Minnesota. Never heard anyone call him Tampon Tim. That's a new one. Just gave it to it. It is a battle for our country. Absolutely. So now what? It is 100%. Bob Wren with the, what's up? Yeah, buddy. What it do, the one? Trump advanced. That's right, Rich Ireland. Let there be no mistake. And as soon as I, of course, changed it, I lost some subs. I don't even care right now. What matters is winning. What matters is winning, because there's no time for second place this time. There just is not. So, all right, let's get to it. And of course, I'll always stop and answer your questions, comments, all that stuff as I go. But let's start with this. The Stolen Valor Act of 2005, U.S. law broadened the provisions of previous U.S. law addressing the unauthorized wear, manufacture, sale of any military decorations or medals. The law made it a federal misdemeanor to falsely represent oneself as having received any U.S. military decoration or medal. If convicted, the Stolen Valor Act of 2013 amended the code to make it a crime for a person to fraudulently claim having received a Valor Award, specified with the act with the intention of obtaining money, property, or tangible benefit. And it's on with old Tim Walz, because this man is going around just talking about how decorated he is as a veteran, and it turned out he never went to the combat he said he went to. Walz owed 2 more years on his re-enlistment when he bailed. He had re-upped into 2007, and they obtained the paperwork to prove it. Walz did not respond to their questions. Why is he using a rank he did not earn? Oh, that's interesting. Saying you got decorated in a way you did not? That's, I would say, pretty crazy, huh? He served in the role conditionally, did not complete the training when he quit, is not allowed to say he retired with this rank because he did not. Huh. That's kind of a big deal, lying about your service, wouldn't you say? I mean, this is about as bad as it gets right here. Minnesota National Guard leaders exposed Tim Walz for stolen valor, lying about his rank, quitting when his unit was deployed to Iraq. As soon as the shots fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit. Oh, so he's a coward too. Old Shrekky. Old big baby Shrekky boy is a coward. Said Tom Behrens, retired command sergeant major, replaced Governor Tim Walz on deployment to Iraq. When he was a congressman, he bragged he was a retired commander sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House. Oh, how are you, buddy? And this lie he was telling the state of Minnesota came out after 2018. After exposed, they said, well, he can say he served as command sergeant major. He can't say he's retired one. Well, that's funny. Just tune his own horn, hung it on the coattails. If Stolen Valor really is what it is. Anyways, this is pretty crazy. This is exposing it. This is an interview with the guy. The paperwork's all there. Wow. I gotta say, wow. This is, it's incredibly disrespectful to our veterans, incredibly disrespectful to just anybody currently serving our military. And it should be disrespectful to our people. I mean, it's sick. It's honestly sick. And it shows you that the fact they either didn't vet him, but which means they're just absolute bungling morons, or they just figured they could pull this one over us and nobody would care. But dude, this is just like, was it John Kerry? Was it Swift boat captains? I can't remember what they called them, but when Kerry was exposed in 2004, this is very similar. And I've been hearing this a lot. A VP won't win you a race, but it can lose you a race. Day by day, it's already apparent Tim Walz is the worst possible pick they could have made. He's an absolute buffoon, has a horrible record as a governor, and on top of it, he's just an outright liar and scumbag. I'll say it. He's a scumbag. I mean, lying, pretending you're deaf so you don't get arrested when you're got a DUI, speeding, and this now, like lying on a military record. It doesn't get much worse than this for a candidate. It really doesn't. It's absolutely despicable. And this comes with receipts. So I don't want to hear anybody even playing a game over there. I saw one person be like, not on this chat, but, well, we needed a convict to match your convict. Yeah, this is not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. Whether you believe Trump's thing was rigged or not, it was. But whether or not you believe that, paying off somebody you had sex with to not speak is a lot different than lying about being in the military. I'm sorry. It's not even close to the same thing. Eric says, am I worried about mean tweets? Oh my God. I've been getting some big mean ones lately. You like the new title, Jack? Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Steve, what's with the Georgia stuff? We'll go over that in a minute too. Midnight. Subs I lost over politics, probably crying soy tears while dipping Dunkin' Donuts into their Bud Light. All right. Not only is that absolutely disgusting as a thought. Oh, donuts and Bud Light. It's very funny. What's up, Gary? Alan, what's happening? As a veteran, Harris VP is disrespectful. Call him a coward. He is, absolutely. Connie, what's going on? Mario, I don't blame you for voting. You voted for Trump. You did. I blame you for being a Cowboys fan, but not for voting for Trump. So, no, it's a very big deal to lie about military service. Ranking medals, 100%. Vinman, Blumenthal can do it, so can Walz. Yeah, but Blumenthal never was running for VP or president, or at least didn't get to the ticket. But yeah, good point. Good point. Stolen Valor is illegal, Joe sees. It's a misdemeanor, but it's illegal. Just like Jesse Ventura was a Navy SEAL. Top that use Jesse voice. I'll try to read it in Jesse's voice. Jesse Ventura, a Navy SEAL. Moody, what's up? It is a travesty, Mario. Absolutely. Did I see Trump dancing on Aiden Ross's live? I did. It was great. It was great. Adventures, that's why Kamala chose him, because they both lied. She was like, he'll take the attention off me. Yeah, the commie's claiming to be American veteran. Yeah, I know. You guys are all got it. What's up, Moody? Good to see you, friend. All right, let's keep moving here. Where was the next part? Sorry, I got out of order here. All right, so this is really interesting, too. So Josh Hawley, one of my favorite senators, he is a total badass. He says, so I hear Kamala had chosen Shapiro last week, but the lefty Dems had a meltdown. So she caved and went with Governor Angry Old Man. Governor Shrek sounds so much better, doesn't it? Or Governor Big Baby. Come on, Holly. You can do better than that. Great decision making there. Listen, this has all the makings of a rush job. They were going with Shapiro, and they didn't take the time to vet Walz. And they got close and close to Shapiro, and then they freaked out for two reasons. Number one, he's Jewish. Just say it. The Democratic Party is full of anti-Semites. I proved it last night. Even Van Jones is out there saying it. They are beholden to an anti-Semitic wing of their party. As usual, they're always broadcasting it to the other side when it's actually them. And so they're anti-Semitic. But the other thing is, he wasn't left enough. Shapiro's pretty left, but this shows you how far they've gone, how absolutely atrocious the Democrats have become. They no longer consider even a leftist to be left enough. You have to be a full-on communist now. You just do. That is what happened. So they listened, or they were afraid of their super left-wing part of the party, which is almost the entire party now. And then they also were afraid of him being a Jew, and they rushed Walz in at the last minute. They freaked out. They rushed him in, and now it's already backfiring on him. I'm telling you right now, this is going to really come back on him. It really is. Democratic op tells me Tim Walz falsely claimed he carries weapons of war in war on numerous occasions. It was a canned line he often used in his speeches, and numerous more known videos of it, like I already showed you. Pick someone they knew was still guilty of stolen valor over a Jew. I mean, if you don't, what else do I need to say? That's the Democratic Party in a nutshell. Don't put me in this nutshell. It's a great big bloody nutshell. That's a little Austin Powers for you guys. Sorry, that was terrible. But they've trapped themselves. And now their only option is in a week and a half or 10 days, 12 days or something, 12 days, the Democratic National Convention starts. And now what they've done is they've set themselves up where they either go forward with this absolutely toxic ticket. It is toxic. And they're swamp creatures, just like in my little thumbnail. I hope you guys like that, by the way. A little Shrek and Wicked Witch, cackling Kamala. But they're stuck with them, or They blow up the party. They risk blowing up the party by bringing in another candidate and having the convention turn into a war like in 1968, which literally destroyed the Democrats. After that, they went from that to losing 68 to losing the biggest landslide in American history in 72, later also tied with Reagan, to barely winning in 76 with Carter over Ford, but that's because Ford had come in as Nixon resigned, all that, and then going Reagan with big wins both times, Bush, big win before Clinton. So that was after the convention of 68, Republicans won the general election 5 of the next 6 times, and the only time they lost was because Nixon was pushed out because of Watergate. That's it. That is it. So that is how disastrous 1968 was for the Democrats. This, in my opinion, is the same thing. This is how bad their party is falling apart right now. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful to watch. Big baby Mario, that's right. Fake Valor. Moody, at the VP debate, Vance should ask him to sign his answer. Oh, I like it. Andy Brewer, what's up? Waltz rhymes with something he's lacking. I love it. What's up, Sway? Walz enjoys his Kentucky Derby. Vin Man, Upper Midwest Muslims would turn to the streets with Soros paid and trained Antifa-like PLO sympathizers. IFA, Jew was nominated by the... That's 100% true. Yeah. What's up, Etchabowski? There's GTII. I don't know if Richard did a video yet, but I heard that the court date went well today. I don't have many details, but I heard it went well, and Richard will have an update either tonight or tomorrow about that, so it should be good. Randy, Michelle Bachmann, former Minnesota Congresswoman in 2012, crushed Tim Walz today. Oh, I bet she did. I liked Bachmann back in the day. What's up, hero? How you doing, brother? All right, let me keep going here. We got more, folks. We got more. This is just the beginning. Let's see. I don't know if this is anything new, but Tim Walz repeatedly claimed to be veteran of Afghan war. Examples Chuck Ross found, and when examples he found show, and when a local Iraq vet called him out, his office promised to follow up and never did. So this is just continuing to be all over the place, which is beautiful. So do I have anything else on this right now? I do not. All right. Let's go to this next part right here, because this is just fantastic. Elon Musk, the most probably, I would say Trump is probably the most powerful man in the world right now with the following he has and the movement he's a part of. But I would say Elon is right up there. And Elon is one of the most influential people in the world. I'd say top 5 easy in the world. That's what a big deal Elon is, for a myriad of reasons. One of the reasons is he was a hero on the left before becoming a hero on the right. So he's got major crossover appeal. The whole Twitter thing, everything. He runs Twitter, which is where the news is now, folks. And he posts this today. Kamala is quite literally a communist. This is huge. This is huge to have this guy out there saying this, because nobody with a brain cell can call Elon Musk right wing. He's voting right now because he's been pushed here because the left has gone so insane. So this means he's got a ton of people looking up to him, including tech people majorly in the tech world, and then also a bunch of liberal types like Joe Rogan's, where they are kind of finding themselves on the conservative side now just because the left's gone so crazy, but they're true old school liberals at heart. Elon Musk has sway with all those people, and he just put it out there today. So this is officially, you can say, this is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is no longer just a right-wing talking point just going too far. This is huge. This is out there. Now everybody has permission to go nuts on this and call her what she is. And it says not merely equal opportunity, equal outcomes. And let's just play the clip. I'm sorry, guys. I know it means you got to put up with her voice for a couple minutes, but I believe in you. You're all strong.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
It's
right?
Ugh. It's not just her voice. It's what she's saying. It's disgusting. This is so anti-American. It's so, people who still think that communism can work are even, there's only two options. Only two options. That's it. Okay. They are either outright evil and they know what communism leads to, which is hundreds of millions of deaths. Hundreds of millions in just the 20th century alone. Hundreds of millions. Okay. That is not an exaggeration. That's not hyperbole. So they're either full on evil or they're full on retarded. That's it. That's only options. There's no other excuse for communism to be still accepted. It's just, that is it. You're retarded or you're evil. And I'm sorry. I know there's probably a bunch of, college students out there who believe in it because of what their professors, and I'll just say, college students are retarded. I know, I used to be one of them. They can think they're smart, but if they allow their minds to be full of stuff and they don't go researching on their own and actually learning history and everything, they're retarded. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. So this is outright communism, and you can make your decision on Kamala, which one she is. But it's absolutely true. And by the way, I'm so glad this is getting out there because the vast majority of people understand this. 65 million views. This is the power of Twitter. People tell me now, they say, oh, you just get your news from Twitter. No, I can't believe you get your news from Twitter. I'm like, okay, you're dumb. Like, there's no other place that you need to get your news from anymore. It is a fantastic Twitter. You get the real news on Twitter and you get it in real time. It is the absolute best. And so Elon tweets this out, gets it out there, which makes me so happy. And by the way, 480,000 likes, 125,000 retweets. This is just fantastic. This is what we need, and get it out there. And again, 65 million views. This just changes everything. This is how Twitter can save America. This is how Elon buying Twitter will look back someday in history, and we'll tell our grandkids things were going so bad until Elon bought Twitter and opened up information. It's amazing. Just Mike says, in 1968, the media was not in the tank for the Democrats. Just Mike, you're so wrong there. Listen, there might be fond memories of what the media used to be like, but the truth was they were completely in the tank still back then. They were run. The media was still run by the CIA back then. Walter Cronkite, hardcore liberal. They just were better at hiding it. That's all. And in fact, the media had way more control over the news back then. Way more. There was only 3 stations in 1968. Cable hadn't come around yet. And so 3 stations got to tell you what to think about 1968. Now, did they cover the news a little bit more better that back then and actually show you what's going on? Sure, a little bit. But there's so much that was swept under the rug back then, man. It's just proven. And now the media is full on in the tank, but guess what? The media is also not trusted. Back then, three stations, every one of them, their news channels, completely, hugely trusted by millions and millions and millions of Americans. Barely anybody, nobody, you'd have to be hardcore into like all kinds of weird stuff to be like Walter Cronkite is a player for the deep state. You just didn't talk like that back then. It just, nobody thought like that. But now it's like, I actually talked to Ham earlier today, and he was telling me, he's like, who believes this stuff? Who's even watching this stuff? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know who watches the media anymore. Nobody follows the media that's in the tank for them, except for the hardcore leftists that are already in it. But even they can't hide if the convention goes nuts. What's up, Fro Girl? How you doing? Jack says Ham's hitting a good news on what as William. That's awesome. Let's see. Lost brain cells listed to her. She reminds you of an annoying functioning alcoholic. How many illegals live with her, Sanoa? I don't know. Hero, how can anyone vote for socialism, communism? Again, you're evil or you're really, really dumb. Shining Bright, democide is the biggest threat to humans throughout history. Useful idiots always help facilitate the democide. That's 100% true. Absolutely. She's the definition of a day drinker. To Kamala, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, you know. Our SAT scores. Can someone make a video of Hillary and Kamala cackling? They would, but Fernando, it's not safe. It's like operating heavy machinery. It's just not safe to do. You can't create something like that. It would hurt too many people. Midnight. Speaking of college, how can so many liberals get degrees in gender studies, still don't know which bathroom to use? Because those gender studies are teaching them to unlearn what's biological. But good point. Point taken. Linda Telly, what's up? Brett Montgomery, Lenin, Stalin, Marx, and Kamala's father is a Marxist economist. Yes. It looks like the apple didn't fall far from the tree, and that apple is full of worms, completely raw. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Mike, okay, you were being sarcastic. All right, buddy. Sorry. I love you, man. You know I love you. All right, we got more to go through before I get to the economy. One more major thing I want to cover on the political realm is all this election fraud stuff starting to come out. Right here, this email from November 4, 2020, day after the election, morning after the election. Rasmussen Reports just posted this as it's been going around before, but bringing it back. Damn, Claire, you have a flair for drama, delivering just the margin needed at 3 a.m. Huh, that's interesting. Well, the elections aren't stolen. They're completely fair. They looked into it and they said it was the most fair election ever, most secure. You are a conspiracy theorist, sir. Yes, I am, because the evidence is overwhelming. This election was stolen. But listen, don't take my word for it. Let's just look at what's going on over in Georgia. Oh my goodness. A group of citizens in Georgia declared a state of emergency with the election system. Kim Brooks. Georgia Nerds are a group of data analysts that work for free across the state. We have a data warehouse of 10 years of voter rolls, multiple election files, and we compare those and find crimes being committed against we the people. Tired of being told we don't know what we're talking about. Go to Twitter X, the G Nerds Real. We post evidence multiple times a week. Promise to show you. We're literally screen clipping out of the Secretary of State file, so buckle up. It is happening. All right, and what is happening? Well, check this out. It gets wilder. Holy schlit! 1.7 million ballot images in Georgia missing from the 2020 election. You can't make this stuff up. Here, let's listen to the old nerd.
We found 1.7 million missing original ballot images for the November 2020 election in 2021, when they were supposed to be retained under the federal and state statutes, which I showed. There were 5 million ballots cast. We only received 3.3 million back. This rule is to do memory card retention. The issue is to change the memory card retention rule. And before we talk about, whoops, we lost that. Before we, there we go. Before we get into the memory cards, I think it's important to understand, as y'all know, I'm sure everybody in the room knows that memory cards are created for in-person ICP scanners from ballot marking device selection summaries. I don't call them ballots either. They're not a full ballot, but that's what the in-person voting uses. The scanners have memory cards in them. They're the compact flash cards that are in your cameras and typically other things, same thing that Dominion uses. Those memory cards are loaded to the election management.
This is absolutely crazy, guys. 1.7 million, okay? 1.7 million gone. And think about this. If this could happen in Georgia, red state, all right, this means just use your imagination on what happened in the blue states. We just saw that email from Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Trump was way up in Pennsylvania before 3 a.m. Overturned. Michigan, same deal. And then, of course, Arizona. Listen, if they could almost get rid of 2 million ballots in Georgia, think of what they did in the blue states. And guess what? They still barely pulled it off. Barely pulled it off. You saw in that email, girl, you brought the drama. You barely got the amount there. You brought it right at 3 a.m. You just got us there. They barely did it. They barely pulled it off. And think about it. Now, stricter election laws, way more people watching, no COVID to hide behind. It's going to be so much harder. And Trump, way further ahead than he was back then. This time, they can't do it as long as we step up. As long as we step up and are bold and show up and do our part, there's no way they can steal this one. Robert Pierpoint says, I've been to Vietnam, found it a wonderful country worthy of retiring in. They are communists posing as socialists. It's a great, clean, cheap country. They're not full-on communists, Robert. That's just simply not true. It's just simply not true. Now, there's still some communist, light socialist elements there, but check this out. I pulled this up just as you said it because I had to. I asked them what their economy is. All right, and the truth is they did embrace a lot of capitalism after U.S. left. So mixed socialist-oriented market economy. You know what that sounds like? Our economy. Everybody wants to say we're a capitalist economy, but we're not. We're a corporatist economy, or crony capitalism is another way to say it. And another way to say it is mixed socialist oriented, because our government picks winners and losers. And we haven't been full on capitalist since the late 1800s, early 1900s. Economy of Vietnam's developing mixed socialist oriented market economy. While socialist elements, it's embraced capitalism. In fact, 95% of Vietnamese people now support capitalism. All right. So just saying, I mean, it's not communist. So there's no gotchas about communism. It doesn't work anywhere. Never has, never will. In communism, people die. People die because all the resources go to the top. They all go to the state. The state is God in capitalism. That's why they always get rid of Christians first. They eliminate Christians. They eliminate other religions, and the state is God in communism. And all the resources go to the top, and the people starve. That's just how it works. And so, yeah, unfortunately, what you saw, which I'm not saying your experience was not legit. You probably saw some things that look communist to you, but it's not communist. It's not. In fact, they ran from communism because they were terrified after what happened in the war. So, all right, you guys ready to move on to some craziness in our markets? Because today was ugly. Yeah, it was ugly. Now, it's not so much that just ugly on its own, okay, with these numbers. They're a little ugly. Okay, they're a lot ugly. We've gotten used to even bigger drops. Full percent down for the NASDAQ again. So ugly, right? But consider the fact that the Dow was almost 400 points up at one point. That's a 600-point swing. NASDAQ was up 200 points or 300 points at one point. 400, almost 500-point swing. S&P up. Big swing down. It's breaking, guys. It's breaking. And what they're going to do right now is it's going to trade back and forth for a while as they're all trying to figure out what they're doing and how to keep this afloat, make their money still while they know it's breaking. So, again, like tomorrow, they don't even know what to do with themselves. The S&P barely up. Dow's unchanged. It's a tie right now with all the trades going on after hours. Oh, there we go, red. NASDAQ barely up. This is because they're scrambling back and forth, wondering what they're going to do, and they're going to take advantage of retail traders during this time. You better believe it. You better believe there's a bunch of retail traders who were buying yesterday when it went up green. And what did they do? They killed them today. They crushed them. And they're going to keep doing that. I talked to Ham today that they're shorting when it goes up right now, and they're buying when it goes low, and they're just crushing retail right now. And so, listen, unless you really know what you're doing right now, Like, be careful. This market is crazy. And as I was talking to him, he was like, they're going to step it down as long as they can until they really lose control. And that's what we're seeing so far. He's been exactly right. Thank you, Mike, for reminding me. Please hit the like, subscribe. Let me take a breath. Please subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you are voting for Trump, if you want to know what's really going on in our markets and elections, please hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And, let's get the truth out there. So appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mike, for reminding me. Do I think the Kamala rally was real today? I don't know. I did not watch enough. Let me put it that way, to have a good, decision on that. I mean, my initial thought is yes, they're real, but what do they manipulate about those? That's the question. Squire says good things can come out of bad. If the 2020 election had been stolen, maybe so many people's eyes won't be open today. That's 100% true. And Squire, I agree with you. I think these 4 years of Biden and Kamala and the travesty they've been, if Trump comes in this time, he's got way more Americans behind him this time. He will have a mandate to get our country back. And that is a very good thing and might be worth the wait. I think it will be worth the wait, honestly. You're welcome, Andy. Thank you. You keep buying Finger going for 20K. Oh man, 20K, that'd be awesome. Fro Girl, you saw an X, they offered a free concert and the performer was same hometown as a rally. Singer's popular. So that's what they're doing. They're bringing in Kamala and them. They're bringing in people to make it look like she's more popular than she is. But just like on that Megan Thee Stallion in Atlanta, they're not there for her. They're there for the entertainers. And as soon as Kamala started talking, they all started leaving. So nothing to report here, guys, on some of our short squeeze stocks we're looking at, whether it's GTI. Richard will have an update. Finger got crushed today, but I'm not worried about it. We all know how I feel about Finger. ZJYL, GDC, ZJYL obviously backstep today, and DJT has been getting hit hard. But again, who's shorting this? I mean, the economy, the market's cracking. They got to be desperate, whoever it is. They got to be desperate, just trying to discourage people before they know this breaks. With Trump getting more and more popular, a huge, massive shareholder base that's very strong, not selling. There's just, and the most powerful man in the world as the forefront of this stock. It's people who severely hate him, shortening it, and probably trying to get an escape that they're desperate for. That's the only thing that makes sense there. So just, I'm not worried about too much, guys, just to be honest. So anyways, nothing to really report there. All right. U.S. household debt increased by $109 billion in QQ 2024 to a new record of $18 trillion, according to the Fed. Breakdown of large categories. Mortgage debt went up $77 billion. How? People aren't even buying homes. That's nuts. Auto loans up $10 billion. Student loans negative $10 billion. There you go. Thank you, Biden. Credit card debt up $27 billion just this year. That's nuts, people. People are putting so much on their credit cards. Total household debt is now up 25% in 3 years. Record high, four straight quarters. They're fighting inflation with debt, but yet we're not in a recession. It's just unbelievable. Steve Petchke, I've been picking up DJT and Finger calls on the cheap for the 15th. Nice. Randy, you trust Laura Trump regarding poll watchers and lawyers involved? I do too. Fernando, Kamala was supposed to be a concert, according to Dom. Apparently she was opening act. Kamala, the opening act? So they made her wait. They made him wait this time? That's funny. Oh, God. CJ Yukon, did I see Vance roll up on AF2 at the airport like a boss? No, I'll have to go see that. No, fill a phone booth. Rodney, do I still think Finger might reach in 1,000 plus range? It's impossible to know, Rodney. All I can say is the math supports that thesis, but it's impossible to know. All I can tell you guys is I believe Finger is going to make us a lot of money. Even if it's 100 times where it's at now, that's $200, and I think that's very doable. So, as 1,000 plus, do I think it's possible? Yeah, it's possible, but I'm staying away from those predictions as much. I just don't think it's wise anymore. Not with all we're going through, but it's what it is to say Finger is a monster, and so is DJT. in my opinion. Shining bright. ARM mortgages might have contributed to the mortgage debt. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Donkey in China shop. CJ, how he said it'll be. Oh, you guys talking about Vance. Okay, let me move on. Here we go. U.S. unemployment rate risen for 4 consecutive months, longest streak since the 2008 financial crisis. There's that year again, 2008. How's that keep coming up? I thought we weren't in a recession, except it's always since 2008 or since 2000. It's crazy. Or since 95, like with the housing. This is nuts, guys. This is just nuts. 4 consecutive months. This just doesn't happen. Over the last 75 years, every time unemployment rose for 4 consecutive months, the U.S. economy entered recession. And there it is. Somme rule triggered. Boom. This, another trigger. When everything tells you, when that duck won't stop quacking, you don't call it a dog. This is where we're at. Jobless rate surged from 3.8 in March to 4.3 in July, highest level since October 2021. That's a half a full percentage in just 4 months. Meanwhile, U.S. hires rate declined to 3.4 in July, at lowest level since 2020 pandemic, when we were shut down, and below the pre-pandemic average of 3.8. This is insane. Jobs are drying up, and that's with a crap ton of part-time jobs being filled by illegals, which we know of. And that's with the government printing like craziness. All right, number of consecutive monthly increases in unemployment. 82. Look at that. My God. All right, 2002. Or, well, this would have been 2000, 2001. Pretty bad. 7. Okay. 2008, 09, 9 months straight. Even in 2020, we didn't break 2 months straight of unemployment. With everything locked down, we didn't break 2 months. And now we're at 4. This might break next month. And let me tell you why. Because there'll be some people coming back to work from the hurricane. And so in Texas. And so they're going to say, look, it's fine. It corrected. Nah. Just a little blip that accelerated a little bit more. A little cool down does not mean this is over. It might save them for 1 month so they can break this streak right here. But don't believe it. Just don't believe it. All right, let's keep going. Already did that. All right, great post here. This was just a hint at the leverage embedded in the system from all the global central bank market manipulation, but the bubble will ultimately pop thanks to the last tightening cycle. It will be ugly. I still say a blow-off high is coming first. Monday's stock market sell-off offered a taste of the chaos that will ensue when the bubble finally pops, says Mark Spitznagel, founder of tail risk hedge fund Universe Investments and protege of Black Swan author Nassim Nicholas Taleb. But before that happens, stocks will likely proceed to a blow-off high as the rally shifts into overdrive. That's the major melt-up thesis that many people have. I personally, I don't know how we hit a huge wave up. I just don't. I know a lot of smart people that believe we do, so I'm not saying I'm right here. I can't see it. And I look at everything they tell me to look at. I just don't see how we do it. But as another person says it. However, every single person I know of that knows what they're talking about says if there is a big blow off top, okay, if there is a big run up, a bit huge melt up in the markets, it will be followed by a massive crash. This is just a hint at the leverage embedded in the system from all the global manipulation and bubble. Oh, I already that's she repeated herself there. But this is on Market Watch. So interesting story. But more and more people are seeing it. By the way, if you're wondering how things corrected to green for a little bit, Japan hit the brakes on their rate hike. Okay. And they did this because they could see the pain it was going to cause. And so they're allowing their currency to devaluate again, which is what the U.S. wants, markets want, while the U.S. yield curve is rising, meaning the carry trade's back on. Remember we covered the carry trade the other night? It's about getting that margin down to almost zero so they can make crazy risks. Carry trade allows firms to borrow cheaply in Japan and use the fresh liquidity to pump U.S. markets. But here's the problem. Japan it's getting worse and worse over there. So this is a very, very temporary fix. It's just all they did was slow it down, which, we had to all know that they were going to do stuff like this, but it doesn't mean the crash is off. It means it could still happen. It's just going to happen a little bit slower. And speaking of that, here we go. Fed is in a lose-lose situation. If the Fed cuts rates aggressively right now, markets tank further and they risk resurgence of inflation, just like I've been saying for 10 months. Cutting U.S. rates will only make the yen carry trade unwinding worse. Uh-oh. Likely saying NASDAQ into bear market territory. If the Fed doesn't cut rates right now, recession fears continue to mount. There's that rock and a hard place. No rate cuts means more worry about rising unemployment, now to 3-year high. Fed must pick between market and inflation instability or potential recession. In other words, they're going to have to let the pain happen. Pick your poison. That's where the Fed is right now. There ain't no soft landing coming. That's a fantasy. It ain't different this time. That's what everybody keeps saying. This time it's different. No, it's not. It's never different. It looks different, but the end is always the same. And that's where we're headed, guys. It's coming. It's coming. I think it's September, October. I just do. I'm holding on to that. And we'll see if I'm wrong. But again, I think the rate cut spurs it because they are going to cut. They are. Just no way they're backing off from that right now. Good night, Vin, man. I'm going to miss you, buddy. Steven, Finger doesn't even go to $10 a share. Never mind the BS. What? Bro, how you... Listen. It was at 7 last summer. 7 last summer. And there's still a bunch of stuff lined up. How can you say it won't even get to 10? Come on, Steven. Come on. You're smarter than that. Peshke, quite a few people out there with 2+ jobs trying to make... Exactly right. Rumdog, Yahoo had Finger long-term forecast at 218. What? No. I got to see that. Steven, as long as we have this shit administration, we aren't going anywhere till after. Well, that might be true. That might be true, except for if they lose control, which they can lose control if the market breaks. And that's what I've been saying all along. So market breaks, or we win with Trump, get Patrick Byrne in, great. If, and this is such a big if, let me put it this way. I don't think there's any way this happens. I'm putting this at a 0.00001% chance of happening, okay? And that is this. The market doesn't break. There's no recession, no crash, no economic disaster. And Kamala wins the election. If those two things happen together, then honestly, we might just say it might actually be over. It might actually be over. And they will take over. They'll let government control the markets even deeper. They'll embed stuff in the system. We'll go full on socialist, communist. It'll take a while to get there, but they'll have everybody behind it all. And our chances of seeing justice significantly lessen. It will get so bad. And that's the black swan for us. But the good news is the odds of both those things happening are, to me, almost non-existent. Statistically zero. That's what I think. Because listen, even if Kamala gets in, I think there's going to be a massive market crash. And we win before she comes in. Okay? Because she won't be in until January. And so there's that. There won't be time for her to get everything in place to not have a break, not squeeze. So there's that. And the other option is it breaks and she loses. So, but the odds of them both happening, or it doesn't break and she loses, just the odds of it doesn't not both those things happening, I don't think you even need to worry about. But yeah, Christmas is coming. Sounds like Japan's America's financial toy. Eric, the whole world is America's financial toy. Japan sold off 1.4 trillion of junk bonds. What? Is that new? I didn't see that, Steve. Can you validate that? October surprise crash. It might well be. Rumor has it Biden stayed on Sunday. Transfer of power feels a civil war. Biden said that. Yes, Jamie Raskin said that they are going to try to implement that. So listen, they're going to do everything they can to not let this happen. Trump get in. But I don't think it's going to be enough because I think the people... Listen, since the beginning of the year, I've heard so many black pill theories. One of them was they're bringing a flu, bird flu. Did they try? Yeah. Did we defeat it? Yeah, because nobody paid attention. The people are still in control here. Okay. Jack Posobiec put a great post out today. He was like, how can you think we're losing? We've been winning, and we are winning. It doesn't mean we've won. Doesn't mean we're close to winning yet or finishing, but we are winning. We're moving forward. The people are not putting up with it like in the past. So my opinion, they're not going to be able to steal this election. The people aren't going to let them. They want a civil war. They're not going to get it because the people aren't going to go to civil war. There might be some riots and stuff, but if Trump wins, we're going to see it through. We're going to see it through because their power, their greatest power was always that they can manipulate the people. And they no longer have that power. They can manipulate a few, but they cannot still manipulate the whole of the people. And they've lost most of us. They have. And they've lost their ability to put fear in our hearts. They've lost the ability to scare us, all that stuff, to make us think other things are happening that aren't really happening. So all that. So I'm just telling you, they're going to try a bunch of stuff, but I don't think it's going to work. Alan, you're 68. She wins and going to Russia. Be safer there. Listen, Russia doesn't sound so bad lately. When Tucker was there, it looked great. A little cold, but great. Dave, we have 191 people watching on only 90 likes. Only 90 likes? Come on, guys. Come on, man. 200 of you watching and only 90 likes? Come on. Hey, hit that like. Just take 1 second. Hit that like. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. We can break 100 right now. All right, hold on. I'm going to refresh. I know we can do this, guys. I believe in you. I believe. Oh, come 93. On, man. That's not very good. Let's get up to 100, and so I can finish my show. There's 100 of you who haven't watched. We got some stuff to cover here. We can break 100 right now. We're getting there. We're getting there. I hate that I have to. I don't get in real time. Let me catch up with some posts while you guys are hitting that like. I know you're smashing it right now. Smashing it. Hit that like if you're voting for Trump. Come on, show your support. Ace Trump 24. That's it. That's the channel. And subscribe. Hey, if you're new here, please subscribe. You won't get all the news like we do here. Just ask the people. Ask the people in the chat. They'll tell you. There's a reason they keep coming back. So now what? How can I even entertain the idea Freak Show could be our president when the media exaggerates? I'm not entertaining anything. I told you. I don't think it'll happen. Petchke said that you heard the junk bonds led to the crash. Really? Okay, I thought it was the rate hike that led to the crash. So you're in Iowa. I don't think it's Russia cold, though. Fernando, I won't do it again for now, I promise. 107, we did it, guys. We did it. We did it, Joe. Sorry, I know I'm causing some PTSD here. Sorry. Tom FP, we could be where Great Britain is now without Elon. Look how hard they're trying to describe. 100%. Yeah. Even Corn Pop throw like. When in history have the good guys censored? Never. I mean, it doesn't mean never for like a second, but like war times or some, but never in general. John Cresson, good evening from Southern California. I love it, man. All right. Credit events spreads will explode the main event. Michael Guy has been saying this for over a year. He's been saying that the carry trade was going to be the thing that actually started all this. And so far, he's been proven right. I mean, come on, let's be honest. He's been absolutely proven right. It's ever since the carry trade starting to unwind, the markets have just been free falling. And what are the odds it all happens at the same time? Unemployment shooting up, followed by, well, actually, I should back up a little bit. All in the same week. Rate cut pushed to September, which they didn't want. They were hoping for July, but still kind of thought it, we're thinking September, but hoping for July. Didn't happen. Then unemployment comes in massive, blows them away. So everybody's recession scared. Then the next trading day, Japan's carry trade starts unwinding. And listen, that's when we had this crazy Monday. Is because of Japan. And now it's leading to the credit event. So it's all building up to what he's been saying. So follow him. He's been great. He's never wavered on this theory. I like him. He's super smart dude. And all, I follow people, even if they say some things that might be a little crazy. I keep listening because if they're smart and they have good reasoning and they present data and history, I'm always like, there's something here. Even if I don't necessarily agree with the conclusion, I'm like, this is a person worth listening to. And I vet these people and I watch them, and that's where I get a lot of my ideas and news, and they help me understand things. And it's a learning curve. When you've seen stuff, when you've been around as long as I have in all of this, watching politics, studying the economy, you name it. Okay. When you've been in business, all that, when you've done this for over 25 years, like I have, you just keep seeing stuff, and you kind of learn who's full of it and who's not. And Guyot is for real. It doesn't mean he'll be right, but his stuff's really good. And I agree with him. Because the credit spreads exploding main event, that is basically bubble popping. And that's what I've been thinking is coming for a long time. So, all right. Here's, this guy's really good too. Peter Sedonga, recession triggered. Everything bubble pops as jobs collapse and dreaded SOM rule triggers. Japan's implosion icing on the cake. Morgan City predicting full point of rate cuts in the next 2 meetings. That qualifies as panic. By the way, listen.
In November,
I don't think there's any way we get a full point in the next 2 meetings. That would be 50 basis points. That would be wild. And that would be extremely risky with inflation. I think they do 25 in September and just see what happens first. Do they do 50 in September? If they do 50 in September, they're terrified. If they do 50 in September, we're screwed. It's on, baby. That's what's going to happen if the Fed cuts 50 in September. But if we're down a whole point in September and then November, watch out, guys. It's about to get crazy. And I think it is going to, honestly. I do. I already told you guys. I feel like that's where we're headed. But that would be what I'd be watching for to really prove my thesis that we're heading in that direction. Robert Kauke says we're up to 112 likes. Let me check the number. Let's see if I can validate this information here. Like that's where we're headed. But numbers 115. You guys did it. That means I'm allowed to keep talking. So appreciate you guys. And listen, if you don't mind, if you're new here, hit that subscribe. I don't think you'll regret it. I have like 90% of people who subscribe to my channel keep watching. And that's pretty good. So I think they find something they like here. John, I got clips on my voice clips. Come on, man, was great. Use them like Kramer does cells. I don't know. I'm stealing it, though. Croissant bought more finger today. Buy the dip, sell the risk. Love it. Smart, man. Learn how to trade. Waiting patiently for Richard. I think tomorrow we'll hear about GTI, yeah. John Cox says 100 to 200 basis points in September. What? John, are you for real? Are you messing with me? You really think they'll cut 100 to 200 in September? That would be insane. If they cut that, first of all, inflation will come roaring back. Okay. But it would also tell us that they are extremely terrified of this recession. And if they cut that much, it will cause panic. It will. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that is a bold prediction, my friend. Steve Petchke, thank you for spreading the good word. God bless. Thanks, Petchke. Appreciate you. Rum Dog, what's up? Glad to hear positive karma from the hearing today. Yes. Get back to work. All right, Rum. Get back to work. We'll see you soon. So now I get ready for the Democrats. Hit an army to right. Yeah, they'll come up for a bit. They will, but it won't last. Randy, core point rate cut in September is symbolic only, no material effect. I think you're right. It's symbolic, but it's also it's signaling. That signal is powerful. Let me put it that way. The signal is we're heading in a stimulatory direction, and the market will like that. Except for when markets are in recession, rate cuts cause crashes. That's just history, and it will happen again. Ficus, if they feel they need to cut that much, they won't wait for September. That's a good point. I agree with you there. If they are panicking, why would they wait? Great point. This is another good post. I want to point out for the record, this crash began 4 weeks ago. And it wasn't started due to yen carry unwind. Now, that's interesting. It was started due to AI bubble implosion. Now, he's got a point here. Do I believe the crash is starting because of the bubble implosion? I don't know. I guess what history will tell us. But I will say he's absolutely right that tech's been collapsing. In fact, NVIDIA's down like 28% since its high. Now, who told you guys? Who told you guys that when NVIDIA forward split, it was going to be a rug pull on retail? I don't know. Some guy on this channel told you guys that. And NVIDIA was the golden goose. And so he might be right about this. History might prove that this is right, and this actually started to crash as well. We'll find out. But yeah, NASDAQ has been bleeding ever since NVIDIA lost that. You guys ready for one more just crazy thing that's a sign of what could be coming? Holy smokes, Warren Buffett owns more T-bills than the Federal Reserve. That's stupid. That's so stupid. That's ridiculous. You're right, Mario. Ham said it too. You're right. And he probably said it first. Just being honest. Ham's much smarter than me on this stuff. John Cox, buckle up. That's right. You would vote for Kamal before you voted for Judge Costanza. Just like, get out of here, you commie. Brett votes for Costanza. Remember, he bought surgical tools for a squirrel. That's right. John, 2550 won't do nothing to the economy. Oh, you're right. It won't do anything for the economy, but it'll do something for the stock market. And that's what they want at first. John, Fed needs 3.5% to get home buyers. They will, but they can't do it that quickly. Because if they do it that quickly, it will just, it's like giving inflation steroids. Kind of miss laughing at the Biden gas. There's a reruns. Yeah, we'll just have to enjoy the reruns because we laughed, but let's be honest, we were crying inside a little bit too. Vandalay Industries and Cramerica are both backing Trump. Johns and T-bills. You and Buffett, more than the Federal Reserve. You know how insane that is? I think I read that it's like 260 billion, 230 billion, somewhere in that range. That's a lot of T-bills, man. But why is Buffett doing that? He's selling Apple. He's selling everything else, and he's getting in T-bills. Buffett sees what's coming. He's going to the safest place for his money. And that's a huge warning sign if I've ever seen one. When Buffett freaks and Buffett bails, you know things are going to get bad because that dude is a very safe investor. And he's got the inside knowledge on everything. Everybody talks to him. All right. So finishing up, it looks like tomorrow the market doesn't know what to do. Right now, guys, in my opinion, we're just in volatility land. It could be green tomorrow. It could be red. Could be both. This is, there's no way to predict where this is going to go the next few days. But eventually, one or two things are going to happen. We're going to enter into a melt-up, where things just start going parabolically up again and everybody's just thinking it's good times for all before a crash, or it's the break continues and it just keeps stair-stepping down, little up one day, down big the next, and they're just going to stair-step it down until something breaks in September, October. That's how I see it going. Obviously, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, studying all this, looking at everything, look at red again, it just doesn't know which way to go. But my opinion is that's the two scenarios we could likely see. So honestly, this is, I can't tell you guys what to do with your money, but be careful and use wisdom because this is a time when you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. So just be careful. If George Costanza's worlds collide, he'll cease to exist. Brett says, can Griffin short T-bills and the market? It's his favorite place to go. Warren Buffett could wipe him off the floor inside with Citadel. Oh, Buffett could destroy Citadel quick. Yeah, easy. Buffett's going to own the government. Not sure about that. I mean, government only pulls in like 14 trillion a year, but no, that's not true. That's our whole, it's like 4 trillion a year. Sorry. Yeah, not quite. He's not quite those numbers yet, but maybe if this debt continues. Just Mike, one benefit of Kamala leading the Dem ticket is that we haven't seen Dr. Jill for a while. Oh, good point. I don't miss her. John Croissant, is it true that gold, platinum, and silver are safer than T-bills? Well, that's a tough one. The answer is theoretically yes, because they always have value no matter what, because they're precious metals. And so they've had value since the beginning of time. They'll continue to have value. So in that sense, yes. The other sense is with T-bills, you probably have a better chance of maintaining your value because gold can dip. Silver can dip. They also could shoot up. But metals can go down. But you'll maintain some value no matter what happens, including the governmental collapse. T-bills, on the other hand, as long as the government doesn't collapse, you're guaranteed locking in your amount plus interest. So it really comes down to the American government. So yes, on a scale of 10,000 years, precious metals are your way to go. On a scale of 5 to 10 years, and you really just want to preserve your money, T-bills are pretty smart, so that's how you got to look at it. But both are very safe. I don't think the government will entirely collapse. Although, if the Marxists take over, the communists take over, they might let it collapse to rebuild it, do a whole new constitution, and enslave us all. So who knows? But hey, how about them Bears? Al Rogland, Trump's going to win, put the kibosh on recession concerns. I don't think he'll put the kibosh on recession. I think the recession's still going to happen, Al. I think it's going to be bad because I don't think Trump can stop it. But I think what will happen is he will use it as an opportunity to reset our economy in a way that's desperately needed. And we will grow out of it fast and have a really good economy after. Randy, Japan owns 1.1 trillion of treasuries. China, 750 billion. John Cox, Upstart was up 50% at one point today. Holy smokes. Wow. Upstart, the lending company? Eric, what's the significance of Buffett owning T-bills? Do you think he would sell those? The significance is his flight to safety. He's sold Apple and a bunch of his stocks, and keeps buying T-bills, which, so it's flight to safety. Buffett's getting out of the market. Susan, you popped your socks off. Oh, awesome, Susan. I'm sorry I'm going to be leaving here in a minute. But you can go back and watch. But thanks, Susan. I appreciate you. Have I ever done the one-man wiggle? That's not happening. You have a money market CD? Yeah, that might be okay still, depending on the bank, I guess. So now when Money Changers table is about to be over, I think there's some truth to that. Jimmy Mo Ace, elites are all in the same time. Crash before the election, Trump even better. I agree. I do, yeah. Trump will reset American thinking, yes. Upstart's loans for bad credit. Oh, there you go. Good point, John. Yeah, so... listen, just keep paying attention. Obviously, the economy is in a rough spot, and the market is starting to show signs of catching up to that. But it's also way ahead of where the economy has been, so the correction is going to be massive because the economy is only getting worse, and then it'll go down. So, listen, crazy times. If you're smart, and we've all bet against this market, in my opinion, by buying these stocks. So when it finally fully breaks, I think we're going to be good. And DJT Finger, maybe GTI if it comes back on the markets, maybe it's DJYL, GDC, but a lot of short squeezes are going to happen. And I just have a lot of people who believe that as well that are much smarter in the markets than I am. I learned from them. Okay, I didn't make up this theory on my own. So am I going to do a fundraiser with the Ape Father, have a toe wrestle in the kiddie pool? No, not so much. Robert Kapke agrees. Awesome, man. Robert Hicks, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So anyways, I'm going to start phasing out here, guys, because but listen, if you got any last questions, I'll hit them up. I'm happy to do so. Or anything you think I missed, I'd be happy to comment on it. By the way, listen, please like, subscribe, all that stuff. And then if you want more, I do just to support this channel, because I put a lot of time into this. The support is $3 a month as a member. That's it. Here's my little pitch. $3 a month is very low, but it gets you extra content and it helps support me, because I work full time, got a family, but this is very important for me. But I got to keep it going because it's so important. And anyways, your support helps me keep this on. So the members' lives are super fun. We just had a great one on Saturday, went 2 hours. We go off the walls. We talk about anything. It's very unfiltered, lots of fun. So if you're interested in that, you could join for $3. I appreciate it. But if not, please still like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Trump 24, we're going for this. We are going to win this. We are going to get our country back. We are going to change this. We're going to get through this economy. And guys, things are going to look up. Absolutely. I believe that with all my heart. I have great faith in where the future of this company is going, but we got to get through the hard stuff first. But we're going to get through it because people like Dan here voting Republican for the first time. And Dan, I'm guessing you're not really a Republican, but you're just a Trump guy because you see how far the left's gone. And that's awesome, man. Welcome. And we love that everybody here with an open mind is welcome. We want free thinkers. We want Americans on our side. Even with disagreements, it's not about that. It's about communism, wokeness versus true Americans. And that's where we're at right now. And so congrats to you for opening up your mind. Dean Jennings bought an awesome Trump coin collection. Going to pass it down to your... That's awesome, Dean. That sounds fun. Laughing at me. Ace, you're selling Kabbalah tampon Tim yard size. How many can you count me in for? I don't know. I might buy a couple just to have a burning. I can record myself burning them. Midnight. Any updates on ZJOL or GDC? No, not tonight. You're good. Paul Teixeira, do I sell any Trump products? I don't, man. I don't sell really anything. I sell services, which is my channel, the memberships, and a Patreon channel where I teach classes. I teach classes on personal success and finances and in business and on Bible classes. So that's my Patreon, which, by the way, if you guys want to check that out, it is a free trial for a week, and you guys can watch everything you want during that free trial. So Katie Cat with the 5 memberships. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Let's see who gets in. SH 1965, Alex, JJ Arm Wrestling. Welcome back. Donald Lynn and Doug Mezzo. Congratulations, guys. Thank you, Katie, for the generous gift. I appreciate that. You guys are now in for a whole month, and you can go check out the members' lives. Agent Orange, what's going on, man? Things are good. Eric, you saw 4 people on bikes at Old Settlers. Do I think it's the 4 bicyclists of the apocalypse? Eric, I should take away your moderating duties for that joke. That was bad. Oscar, can't wait for a positive swing in our direction of stocks. Amen, buddy. Am I actually a toe wrestling champ, or is that a joke? I think it's a joke. XRP looking spicy. Yep. It was a good time to buy in, too. BN Pro says, thank you. It's a great members group. It is a great members group. We're talking about 350 people who have been around for over a year, most of them. And so actually we gained a lot of new ones this last month, and just great people. Great people get along. We have a community. This whole chat's a community, by the way. Lots of people always watching, been around a long time, but the members are really tight-knit and super fun. So thank you, Dean. Mark, you missed a little bit, but Theo. All right, A1A, you'll have to go back because I'm heading off. But let me end in a prayer, guys, because we always need prayer. That's what we need. We need a couple things to win this election. 3 things, actually. We need to vote. We need to step up in any way we can, whether it's poll watching, work in the election, just being outspoken, whatever it is that you feel stirred to do that's in your ability to do. That's number 2. And number 3 is prayer. We got to have God on our side in this one. And God is on our side. But God, one of the things I've learned in my 40 years on this earth is that God leaves most things up to us. He works through us and then just gives us the strength and the wisdom to do most things. Occasionally he likes to jump in, but for the most part, he gave the world to us. We're his children. He's going to let us do the work. So, but we need the prayer for the strength and wisdom to do what we need to do and to make sure he just pushes on hearts and minds as much as possible. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless all these amazing people. Thank you for this amazing group. And I pray you give everybody wisdom in dealing with their investments, their day-to-day lives, and in preparation for whatever's coming, good or bad. And God, we pray that this election, that all the bad stuff that could happen, God, is just stopped in Jesus' name. That it's there's a hindrance put on it, a block put on it, and that, God, it goes through as smoothly as humanly possible. And we pray that Trump gets in with Vance and all that team, Lord, of people, and we can get our country back on the right track again and really leave the country we all love and we all believe in to our kids and grandkids in a better place than it's ever been. And so this election, we got to get this one going. In Jesus' name, bless everybody here. Pray healing for Thomas Dubois, Jenny L, and everybody else who needs it. Bless them in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love you guys so much. Like, share, subscribe, join, whatever you want to do. But definitely vote Trump. God bless you guys. Have a great night. See you.